What's up, card fighters, and welcome back to the Prime Vanguard channel. In today's video, I'm doing another card fight commentary reaction between me and Outer Orange, Claudine versus Zorga. I was super excited to take this deck to my locals. I went 2-2. I lost 2 games and I won 2 games, but Claudine, there's still a lot to learn for it, and with set 12 only a couple of days away from the time making this video, I'm super excited to showcase to you guys how it works out now. So at the beginning of the tournament, I was going first against her, and, you know, I will say this now that I did win the previous game. Unfortunately, she had a really horrible hand. Like, it was god-awful. She had a scoop. So that was part of my second win. We decided to play again because I really wanted to... I know she's good with Zorga, and I've played against her before on my channel with Zorga, with Solryron, so I know she knows what she's doing with this deck. And I really want to take the time and opportunity to, like, see what Claudine can do as well against Zorga, because... you know, it's a deck that I've been, you know, trying out. I want to see how I can do with different strategies and things like that, especially with set 12 coming out and introducing some really busted stuff for Claudine. I want to see what the weaknesses are of this deck now so that I can alter them prior to me playing it. So here I open up with the Mythiarch Habitat as well as another order, and the Habitat play was just better in my opinion, because this way you can go ahead and get the mushrooms out, set that up for next turn. And I want to say the revival card because going into my next turn, I would have had the revival card to bring back the mushrooms and then rebuild my board and then use Claudine again. So I use Habitat, luck out, call the mushrooms, mushroom gives me tokens. I use the Tear Husk, swing at the Vanguard, she has a defensive, I can't hurt her, and then I use the dragon and knock out the token. It is what it is, happens sometimes. So finally she goes into her Tear Husk Dragon play, she gets back her order, and then she decides to drop her Depth-Welleth, gets her a Dragon Tree marker for next turn, and then she also gets the Masque of Hydreigon, and she's basically setting herself up for next turn. Now my mentality was, I'm already at 2 damage, I can't afford to take any more here, I can't go past 3, despite me going first. So I'm going to try and, you know, block as much as I can. But she sets up with a Depth-Welleth, she got the order, Gather Upon Me, O Ye Wandering Souls. This order will give her Vanguard an extra drive check to, you know, give her more cards in hand, and I stop her here. So she gets a Depth-Welleth, a PG, and then I'm still blocking because I want to take any more damage. And that was the correct play in my personal opinion because she's at 1, I'm at 2, so if I heal out first, even if she goes up to 2 damage, I'll still be in a good spot. So I drop the other Pride Pollen and I get the Claudine off. I try to get that off right away so I can build the rest of my plays around it. I then go ahead and use the grade 1 order. I check where I got a mill first. I drop the Citrus Kid. That card is so much fun to play. It's so good. Giving 5k to a token means that your tokens just hit a lot harder. And looking at my drop zone, as you can see here, I was in a good spot. Not too many triggers out, a couple of key cards I want in the drop zone. Everything was looking pretty good for me. So I call out dragons here and I get 2 tokens. And with dragons, I give him the additional 10,000 power because I'm trying to focus on hitting as hard as I possibly can this turn. I don't really particularly care about, you know, using the critical effect right now. I usually save it for Persona my turn. Call out Citrus Kid with Diantha. Diantha gets 5k. Citrus Kid gives another 5k to the token. The token's got another 5k from Claudine. So my tokens are about 15 right now, which is a good number. And, you know, Claudine's going in, you know, using her effect. I believe I have 3 orders already in my drop zone. Yep, hit a heal trigger, put another order in there, and then hit double mushrooms. So all my mushrooms are out at this point, but it doesn't matter because I can revive it. I did forget to put that in my drop, which did change things because the additional power from Claudine went from plus 5k for every 2 that I had. I had 4 in the drop zone at this point. Gather Upon Me, Revival, Habitat, and then Prolific Orange. So therefore, yeah, the token got another 5k. So the token was hitting really hard, and even though she hit defensive, all my numbers were looking really good. I was happy with everything I was seeing. And I was like, I had a really good rush turn going. She's going to be, I'm at 1 and she's at 3 points of damage. So I was looking really good for next turn. I had Persona Ride, I had my pieces, dragons were out, mushrooms were out. I still had another order I could take advantage of. And if not, I had 2 mushrooms in my hand to use. But she goes in for her Zorga turn. She gets the Best Octavia's, extra Dragon Tree markers. And I'm thinking to myself, if she goes for the Zorga play where it's like, you know, plus 35k to the front row, I think on first Persona Ride turn, I should be okay. I can take at least 1 hit from the dragons, and then I can take another hit from the Vanguard. But she Alchemagics into the Habitat and the Hydreigon, and that's, you know, deck thins are out by 2 cards because, you know, Hydreigon lets you search out for a grade 3, Habitat lets you search out for another one. I think she uses the Habitat first. I mean, that would make sense. You want to deck thin as much as possible before you do the Hydreigon search to make sure that you increase your chances of hitting Teasing Spiritualist Zorga. But unfortunately, she whips on the Hydrogum Search. But I don't think it matters. I think she had it in her hand already. Probably. Yep, she did. So Spiritualist comes in, 10k to front row. Dragon's got 10k plus a crit. Persona right turn, another 10k. Like, it's insane. Like, plus 20k to the front row, then the Dragon's just getting so big is ridiculous. And then the Dragon Tree marks you give additional 5k makes all of them scary. So looking back, I say to myself, I can take this one, but I chose not to because like it's the only critical she has for the turn. But I forgot she plays Kill C-Ring. Hits OT, which is completely fair, but it's not as devastating at this period in the game, only because I'm at 1 point of damage. Like, yeah, she might hit hard, but I already blocked dragons, and she's giving critical to her Vanguard, and I should have the power to stop everything else. So I hit double defensive, I hit double critical on my Claudine turn, putting me at 33. So I'm like, I gotta block the Keel because, you know, the depth, I can't stop the depth, and that's where I messed up at. I should have stopped the Keel. I used a PG instead to stop depth, but if I didn't have the stuff to stop Keel, then maybe the PG was the right play. I don't remember at this point. Alright, but I got my Persona right play, but unfortunately it's a little bit different. She did hit OT and heal trigger, so she's no longer in, like, lethal. So that basically means I have to work my way back up to, like, putting her in that situation. So I'm checking my drop zone for, like, all of my pieces, and there's an order that I was playing at the time I was making this video. It's the Malevolent Grade 2 order. I want to really put it on my plant token to make it scary, because I was like, this is how I'm going to push back. I had the 15 cards in drop zone, so that means the plant token got the additional 15k plus 1 critical. I'm on Persona Ride, that's plus 10k. It's a critical too, which means that's going to be able to reswing twice. Like, I thought I was in a really good spot here. I knew she had a PG in hand, so I knew she could stop one, but I was like, if I hit a critical here, I'll be in a really good spot. I also put Prison Dragon as the critical effect as well, so everything was swinging for crit except my Vanguard. But the plant token was too weak. So she stops the plant token. I'm not sure if that's right though, so I'm gonna pause it for a second to look back. Okay, she guards with that, double intercept. So yeah, no, she was right. I'm good. Critical comes in and I'm like, okay, we're good. We're playing now because the dragon is at a high enough number to where like everything is threatening and I have crits on everything. But unfortunately, she had the defensive piece to protect herself. So at this point, we were at a 4-4 game and she drops the PG and she was good. She was safe. So at this point, what I'm thinking to myself is like, I just need to survive this turn. If I survive this turn, I have another order I can take advantage of, and I should be good. I no longer have Persona Ride, but my stuff still hits hard enough to where like it's still scary. And her hand wasn't the biggest at this point. I think she had like, what, 4 or 5 cards in hand? So she has to reset for her Zorga play. Oh no, she only has 3 cards in hand. No, she has 4 cards in hand. I'm a liar. Sorry. But she goes into that, and then I think she resets the play. I'm looking at her drop zone, asking for what she's got. I'm thinking to myself, I'm at 4 damage, I just have to stop the 2 dragons, and I should be good. She removes the Zorga, calls out the Shadow Cloak, Alchemagics into the Habitat with the Gather Upon Me, O You Wandering Soul, and then we were just talking about the Shadow Cloak because, you know, there's another person at my locals that plays Zorga very well, and I was discussing the second effect of it and like when does it activate, because I genuinely forgot. Habitat kicks in, she searches out PG, which is a normal play. She's going to Shadow Cloak and get her PG back in case she can't win this turn because she doesn't know what I have in my hand, except she knows I do have a PG, so I am guaranteed to stop one of her attacks this turn. But it's normal Zorga shenanigans. Dragon is 10k from its own effect, so the dragon on a dragon tree marker I know for a fact now is always going to be 20,000, Zorga is 30. And then the plant token will make it 35. I try to stop this one. 28, 33. But she doesn't use the plant token to boost, which that's why I was able to guard like that. Calls out the Kill C-Ring, and I think I just take this one. And she heals out again, gives me the power to the Kill C-Ring because the Kill C-Ring is pretty weak right now. I take 1, and I'm thinking to myself, you have a PG in hand, you've got defensive for 15. Hopefully I draw into Persona Ride because at this point it's not looking good. I PG that, and then there comes in the Kill C-Ring, and I had to drop my whole hand to stop this. So yeah, it was like I got a top deck persona. Unfortunately, did not top deck throughout the entirety of this tournament. Towards like the late game, I was just drawing nothing but triggers. So it got to the point like, okay, I have to go full token rush because there's nothing left I can do. So I use Claudine's effect to bind an order. I get 2 more plant tokens. You know, Claudine's already set up with her effect. The plant tokens have +5. Diantha's got +5. And yep, I call the grade 1 because I'm like, I have to go for it. Unfortunately, I don't personalize, so the plant token is too weak. I can only swing at the keel, which does suck because that means that, again, I'm now forced to rely on getting a critical because she healed out. PG's the Vanguard. I do get a critical, thank goodness. I give it all to my rear guard. This one has to swing and hit. I'm praying to hit the Vanguard. I think the token at this point got +15, then 10k from trigger. So yeah, it was just not looking good for me at this point. But I knock out a front and a heel, which is, you know, okay. Less triggers for her to work with. She does have Persona Ride. And at this point, it was a wrap for me, guys. She saw my triple drive. I just didn't have the piece to stop her. You know, at this point, however, looking back, I think where I really messed up here was that I did not push as hard in the early game as I could have. I feel like, you know, with plant token decks like Grandfia, Claudine, and some Leonore variations, or even Roroa, you have to like really take advantage of the fact that your plant tokens let you rush that hard. I think that if I had gone into the play earlier and got the Prod Pollen, not only would I have given myself an intercept, but I would also give myself more plant tokens onto the board, which is a 5k shield that would have been one I haven't used in my hand in the early game to help out. So I feel like I just didn't push hard enough in the early game. Also, at the time I was building this deck, you guys didn't see it, but I was doing a 2-2 split from like the Claudine build. Like I was playing like draws and fronts, and I think that draws are just better now because you do need to see into pieces, and it just didn't help a lot. But yeah, she healed out twice or 3 times during this game, so that didn't help either. But again, that's just how it goes. She set up her dragon plays, and at this point there was nothing I could do. Like, you know, dragons were really hard. I was like, I gotta hit heal. And even if I do stop the dragon attacks, I have to take one of them. It's gotta be the Zorga, and then I gotta pray that it can just be strong enough to hit. But at this point, she's going all in. She's giving the dragon tree markers to everything. And she still has the Keel Sea Ring, so I'm like, I gotta take it because it's gonna be 4 attacks that are too big for me to stop. But yeah, as you guys saw there, Claudine is a really powerful deck. You know, you get the plant tokens to rush with. I just didn't play aggressively enough as I should have. You have the benefit of the triggers. Your drop zone saves you. It builds up a board without using a lot of hand. I think that I probably should have used the revival card earlier than the Mythiarch Habitat to deck in for more pieces that I actually needed, because looking at my first turn with Claudine, I didn't even need to use the mushrooms because I didn't use her bind effect on the first grade 3 turn, which could have potentially saved me like 10k shield, and it could have decked in me a piece later, which matters more because deck thinning out or compressing your deck later in the game is better than earlier, since you increase your chance of seeing more triggers, especially depending on what your hand was. But that was Zorga versus Claudine, guys. I have more Claudine commentary coming out, so definitely stay tuned throughout the entirety of this week to check out those other videos. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, as well as the notification bell to stay up to date on all my newest videos coming out. With that being said, I'll catch you later, card fighters. Peace.